Okay, shall we start?
Okay.
We have a quorum. Thank you, Siri. Okay, this is the meeting of Thursday, December 16th of the Design Review Board. Call a meeting to order. Can I ask for a motion to approve the agenda? As amended, I should say. Is that correct, Katie? We're continuing the Newman item.
Yep, we are. Yeah, and I put that on the one that's posted up here, but I didn't get a chance to change everybody's out.
Yeah. So
Okay, I'll move we approve the amended agenda.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, consideration of the minutes of the DRB meeting of September 16th, 2021. Anybody have any?
I move that we approve the minutes of October 21st, 2021.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So item 3 is public hearing and consideration. This is the item that we're continuing till the January meeting. And we'll go on to item 4, which is a public hearing consideration of DRB 2135, David Veneta, on behalf of Marion Randall Jenkins to construct an accessory dwelling unit in conjunction with a new single-family home. So let's see, I need my cheat sheet. Where am I? Okay, this is a quasi judicial hearing. Does anyone object to the jurisdiction of the DRB to hear this matter at this time? Does any commission member believe he or she has a conflict of interest or personal bias? Has any commission member had any ex parte contact or made a site visit? Site visit.
Site visit.
Okay, Robert, the staff report.
Okay, this item is DRB 2135, a request by David Veneta on behalf of Randall and Mary Jenkins to construct an accessory dwelling unit in conjunction with a new single-family residence. The property is owned by Randall and Mary Jenkins and is located at 915 South Hemlock Street at tax lot 6600 in a residential medium density R2 zoning district. Municipal code section 17.54.080.c accessory dwelling requires that all new dwellings that contain an accessory dwelling shall be subject to design review. The application will be reviewed against the criteria found in municipal code section 17.44.080 through 17.44.100 design review criteria. The application exhibits include the application that was stamped on November 23rd, 2021, and also architectural drawings for both the single-family dwelling and the ADU submitted by Tolovana Architect LLC. Again, the summary and background is a request for approval for an ADU in conjunction with construction of a new single-family dwelling. The subject property is an undeveloped 4,750 square foot lot measuring 100 by 47.5 feet, zoned residential medium density R2. Adjacent uses are primarily residential, with one hotel located immediately south of the subject property on South Hemlock. The proposed accessory dwelling unit will be located above a single car garage behind the primary dwelling and would provide 463 square feet of living area. Additional parking would be provided by 2 9-by-18-foot parking spaces and a driveway adjacent to the garage that would be accessible from East Van Buren Street. The driveway is approximately 80 feet back from the intersection of South Hemlock and East Van Buren. For approval criteria, the approval criteria are in the sections are in the following sections of the municipal code: R2, medium residential zone development standards, 1714.040, and design review standards, 17.44. And moving into the staff comments for 1714.040, medium residential zone development standards. The comment is that the subject property is an undeveloped 4,750 square foot lot measuring 100 by 47.5 feet, zoned residential medium density R2. As the subject property is under 5,000 square feet, it is a non-conforming lot subject to the language of 1782.020, which states, quote, if a lot or the aggregate of contiguous lots held in a single ownership as recorded in the office of the county clerk on or before June 19th, 1979, as an area or dimension which does not meet the lot size requirements of the zone in which the property is located, the lot or the aggregate of contiguous lots may be occupied by a use permitted in the zones, subject to the other requirements of the zone. If the lot does not meet the minimum lot size for the zone in which the property is located, a residential use shall be limited to a single-family dwelling. The placement of a single-family dwelling and accessory dwelling unit are permitted uses as described in 1714.020, which applies to the R2 zone. The proposed development would have a total lot coverage of 42% and a floor area ratio of 0.6. Setbacks would be 15 feet in the yards facing South Hemlock and East Van Buren and 5 feet on the other two sides. Parking would be provided in a single car garage and two 9 by 18 foot parking spaces in a driveway accessible from East Van Buren that would be 80 feet back from the intersection of East Van Buren and South Hemlock. And staff comment for 1744 design review standards and requirements is this application comes before the DRB due to the unique provisions of Cannon Beach Municipal Code 17.54.080C, requiring all new accessory dwelling units to be reviewed by the DRB. The only pertinent standard meeting the additional parking requirement of one additional space is meeting the additional parking requirement of one additional space for an accessory dwelling unit. This is met by the provision of a single car garage with two additional 9 by 18 foot parking spaces in the driveway in front of it. The driveway is on East Van Buren and is approximately 80 feet back from the intersection with South Hemlock. This application is subject to ORS 227.178, requiring the city to take final action within 120 days after the application is deemed complete. The application was submitted on November 23rd, 2021, and determined to be complete on November 23rd, 2021. Based on this, the city must complete its review of the proposal by March 3rd, 2022. This hearing will be the first evidentiary hearing on this request. ORS 197-763, Section 6 allows any party to the hearing to request a continuance. The DRB should grant a request for continuance. The DRB should grant any request for continuance of this hearing, and its next regularly scheduled hearing is January 18th, 2022.
So Jen just texted me. She said I'm in the waiting room on Zoom. Can you
Just let her in.
let her in?
Yep.
Hi, Jen. Not yet.
Mute.
Unmute her, yeah.
Hello, sorry I'm late.
It's okay. Okay, was that it, Robert?
Yes.
Okay.
And Mike,
Yeah.
this is Jeff Adams. Just wanted to follow up, just say one more thing. I have sent 2 emails to Mr. Jenkins. I haven't gotten a reply, but I'm hoping that they can respond to what the emails were about was repositioning the garage to save what the arborist stated would be on our drawings would be, I think it's the southeast portion of the lot has I think he called it a significant tree, or at least a tree that could be saved if the accessory garage and dwelling moved closer to the house. It could be possibly saved, and might be something to look at in that. And I hadn't heard any, and I thought this is an opportunity, might be able to speak to that.
I'm here at this meeting if I can respond. This is Randy Jenkins.
Wait a minute, Mr. Jenkins. Let me go through the.
Sure.
Okay, so we have the staff report, and I'll open the public hearing and ask that the applicant speak. I don't know if that's you, Mr. Jenkins, or the architect, but go ahead.
Sure, I can speak to this. Is Randy Jenkins. I'm the owner of the lot. So I spoke personally to the arborist who did the review on the lot, and he stated in no uncertain terms could that tree be saved because of the amount of concrete from the motel on the south side that covers approximately half of the root structure. So we went into this with the intention of saving that big spruce, but the arborist told me that that would not be possible. So that's my response. And by the way, I did not receive any emails from you, Jeff Adams. So perhaps there's a glitch in the email names, but in any case, and I believe that the arborist made that clear in his report. He's recommending removal of the large spruce that's right on the corner of the lot. So nothing more I can say.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Randy, do you want to make any other comments about the house and the ADU? You know, this is kind of an anomaly that we review ADUs, because if you had called it a guest cottage, we probably wouldn't, or a guest room, we probably wouldn't be reviewing it. But currently we do review the ADUs, and I applaud you for including an ADU in the garage. But
I've got 3 daughters, and it just really wasn't room for 4 bedrooms in the main house. So the ADU was intended to be a 4th bedroom for the 3rd daughter and her family when they were visiting. So we did sort of reserve the right to consider renting that out. But the primary purpose is going to be a bedroom for one of the daughters and their families when they came to visit. So I really don't know anything about the terminology of guest house versus ADU. So that really wasn't my choice.
it does have, I see it does have a kitchen, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Smaller.
That's what makes it an ADU rather than
Okay, sure.
okay. Any other comments, Randy or any Jay or anybody?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I haven't done my litany here. The pertinent criteria to be considered are noted in the staff reports listed on the criteria sheets. Testimony, arguments, and evidence must be directed towards that criteria or other criteria in the comprehensive plan. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the decision maker of the parties an opportunity to respond to the issue precludes appeal based on that issue. Prior to the conclusion of the initial evidentiary hearing, any participant may request an opportunity to present additional testimony, arguments, or evidence regarding the application. The DRB shall grant such request by continuing the public hearing and leaving the record open for additional written testimony, arguments, or evidence. Persons who testify shall first receive recognition from the chair, state their full name and mailing address, and if appearing in a representative capacity, identify whom they represent. So we've already heard from the applicant. Are there any other proponents for the request? Are there any opponents for the request, to the request? Any staff response? Robert?
We have a recommendation for approval with conditions. The condition would be final approval of a design review plan shall be void after 1 year of the date of approval unless a building permit has been obtained.
All right. Any additional statements from the applicant?
No.
Randy, anything? Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. Nothing else? I'll close the public hearing and move to consideration. Anybody want to discuss it, or?
I have 2 points, I think. One, there should be a second condition, and that's the affidavit of no short-term rental that's required for an ADU.
Right.
And secondly, the removal of the tree, does that just under the code, by no requirement from us, requires removal of the trees, require replacement by a minimum of 4 trees on the lot, as I understand it. Is that correct?
I believe that's correct.
Are those shown on the site plan?
Is it on the site plan?
Well, there are trees shown. I'm not sure which ones are which.
There are 4 new trees that are on the site plan along Van Buren.
Says Miyugo pine on these 4-inch caliper.
Okay,
I gotta find it, sorry.
They're on the tree report. They turn in a separate. This one's just.
Is that in the packet?
No, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
part of the packet. But I think these are,
Can't read this site plan, it's too small.
It says 4 Mugo pine, minimum 4-inch caliper,
Well,
but those are little, right?
I
I
can
do-
see that too.
I do have a little bit of knowledge about Mugo pines. They don't come in 4-inch. They're little shrubby pines. They're like, they're just like shrubs. They're not trees.
Mhm.
And they don't come in 4-inch caliper. They come in, gallons, 5 gallons, 10 gallons, whatever. But I wouldn't consider that a tree necessarily.
So we need to make another condition.
Well, I would say that, we need to see if there's a place where you can put a couple of trees that, are real trees, not just shrubs.
Yeah, he has to have 4 mature 6-foot trees before we sign off on a final certificate of occupancy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't see that before. I looked at the site plan, but I didn't realize. But Mugo, I don't know who did the landscape plan, but Mugo pines are not trees. Maybe in a couple of 100 years.
My question, I don't think we have to do anything, Jeff, because that's in the code.
Yeah, we will require 4 mature and won't sign on a certificate of occupancy until that happens, so.
And the tree list is available, right?
Yeah, and exactly, and we'll provide him those the specifications for those.
It looks like the only areas that it's possible is along the north side. I don't think you could realistically plant a tree. Well, maybe you could on the front.
West and north.
West and north. Yeah, and it probably wouldn't be it'd be nice to have some trees on Hemlock there. Could I ask Randy if he'd entertain that idea?
Absolutely. I was planning on 4 trees along Hemlock, so I don't know anything about this Mugo pine thing, but there'll be 4 trees that meet the code.
Okay, I think there were 2-inch caliper or 1.5-inch caliper is what's required. If it's a conifer, it's 6 to 8 feet. That's my recollection. Okay. So was there a motion, or does somebody want to? Mark, did you?
Yeah. If there's no other, I would move that we approve the application with the conditions of the building permit, the affidavit of non-short-term rental or whatever the proper wording is for that. And I don't really think we need to put anything in about the tree because it's covered by code.
Okay, well, remember, we have to do the site plan. We have to approve the site plan first, and then the architectural design and the landscape design. So you want to start?
I will not move to approve architectural. I do not believe that's our jurisdiction. I would move
I think
the site plan and landscape are covered in what we've discussed, the parking and the trees, which again, trees don't need to be in there really.
Yeah, I think traditionally you guys have just done the site plan and
Site plan, because that's where the parking is shown, and we get off on landscape because we're looking at the site plan.
Okay.
I'll withdraw my motion and leave it to others to figure out how to word it.
Somebody want to take a crack at it? Felicia?
Well, I thought your motion was fine.
Me too.
Yes, somebody could just second that motion.
Okay, I'll second Dave's motion to approve the site plan with the conditions he noted.
Mhm.
Whose motion?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mark's motion. Sorry, Dave.
Mark's motion.
Mark's motion. Sorry, Mark.
No problem.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So do I hear a motion for the chair to sign the appropriate orders?
So moved.
No. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So anything else on the good of the order? Anybody have anything for the good of the order?
I do. I would like to thank Mark for, great work that he's done. Since being on the committee, I've already even stopped him in the street trying to get him to commit to other committees and other projects. But I hope he does stay involved somehow, even if it's just over a coffee or a beer or cheese. But I do appreciate the dedication and the leadership, I think. every meeting he comes prepared, and I really appreciate that dedication. And thanks, Mark.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I'm engaged in the Farmers Market Committee. I had an overlap, so I've got a new home.
Yeah, I want to second what Jeff said. You've really been a steady hand on the tiller, as they say. So
Yeah.
appreciate your work.
Thank
We'll
you.
miss you.
We will miss you.
No, I'm still here. I'm not going away.
Just keep-
Just from this meeting room.
Just keep walking. Keep
Yep.
walking that beach. All right. Anything else? I guess we're here.
Yeah, happy holidays, everybody. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
Holidays.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.